kicking it with my boy right now. I'm ready. I'm ready to, be asked some questions.
Oh yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. We definitely got the questions for you. So with that being said, we're gonna start at the top with a couple cliche ones just to
right.
get to know you for the people who don't know you. So if you could, where did you grow up?
West Side, Chicago.
Okay.
West Side of Chicago. Just talking about it. Not too far from here. Like, literally right up the street. 10 minutes away.
And could you talk about your life experience growing up in Chicago? Because of course it's a reality with the gangs and the violence, but is that something that affected you personally growing up in Chicago? Or did you have a pretty clean slate coming all the way to adulthood?
No, it definitely affected me from birth. My father was actually killed before I was born. When my mother was 8 months pregnant with me, a lot of my family gone due to gang violence. I recently buried a 15-year-old cousin. We just celebrated his birthday. Rest in peace, Goopers. We just celebrated his birthday literally last Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely something that hits home. As far as somebody like me though, I grew up in church, as much as my family from the streets, they from the church, so that's how the ghetto gospel came along. So okay. I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Okay. And that's segueing right to my next question. So, well, it possibly does. How does music become part of your life? Is it in the church?
In church, it really just always have been a part of me. Always been something that was a gift for me, if you will. Like a God-given talent. To where music loves me. I say it like that. It always has loved me just as much as I love it. To where it's the no-brainer type of thing.
Okay. I can understand that. So, with it being a God-given talent, can you remember your first instant when you realized that it was a talent? Was it somebody like, yo, hey, you sing, or was it church choir? Do you remember that exact instance? And if you could share it with us.
Nah, I don't. My mom told me growing up though, when she knew I could sing, we was watching What's Love Got to Do with It, Tina Turner, and I used to sing the songs from there, and that's how she came to the conclusion that I was gonna be a singer. But me, like, I can't even remember, honestly.
Okay, can you remember the type of music or your favorite artist, your first favorite artist growing up? Was there anybody that you, I want to say mimicked, but can you remember the first artist that you maybe called your favorite artist? Or your first song?
Probably Mary J.
Okay.
Mary J. Blige, you know what I'm saying? My mama, once again, going back to my mom probably thought she was Mary J. Blige back in the day.
Man, too.
Like, that's how much I know her music and have listened to her songs, So, yeah, she's probably one of the first people that I love.
So, with that being said, could you categorize, like, what kind of music would you say that you make?
Ghetto gospel.
That's dope. Is that something that you got from listening to Tupac, or just something that you put together and was like, man, that's me as well?
No, kind of just really figuring out my own lane, to be honest with you, and knowing what kind of person that I am. Like I said, my family is half from the streets, half from the church. Okay. And when you put it together, that's really, really what you get. A really, I would say, symmetrical part of me, ghetto and gospel.
and would that be your definition of ghetto gospel? 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like, how would you define ghetto gospel?
Not necessarily 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Nah, that's a joke.
You got
I would
people
say
out here ready to hit a lick. Like, I'm going to church tomorrow though.
Nah, right? Nah. That was a little jokey joke. When it comes down to it though, it's definitely being dedicated to both. You know what I'm saying? And being equally, like blended in both. When I say ghetto, it's not about struggle, it's about culture.
Right, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? And when I say gospel, it's not necessarily about church. Even though I'm a church girl to the death of me, it's not about church. It's really about spirituality. You know what I mean? And God. You know what I'm saying? So it's culture and it's spirit. That's what it is for me. And it's being equally dedicated to both. It's not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's like, nah, we this. Okay. We both of them.
Okay. And with that being said, if you could, can I ask you about your creative process? With you creating the type of music that you do, what is your creative process like? Is it you know, are you a writer, or is it do you get in the booth and have to listen to the music and start creating? If you could talk to us about that process.
I think it's something, like I said, once again, it's just a God-given talent to where it can hit me right now and I can be talking to you, but the whole time I'm vibing in my head to something that's going on, you know, but I can also be in the studio vibing to some music. I can be at home. So I don't necessarily write that much. I feel like I should write a whole lot more, you know, when it comes down to the flow of things. I think it'll help my flow a lot better and probably help my memory. But I'm such a spirit, you know, to where it's like the spirit really does move me a lot, you know, to where I get inspired just by anything.
So is that a freestyle singer? I'm sorry. Is that...
Yeah, not necessarily like off the top of the dome, like I'ma just drop a hot 16,
okay.
you know.
So you come in with a concept.
Yeah, just come in with a flow. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a freestyle, but it's still a flow. You know what I mean? Just having my own flow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And music does this a lot, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to relate to, but it seems like R&B, you know what I'm saying, it's probably more closely because R&B talks about a lot of real situations.
Yeah.
So with that being said, when you creating your music, you know what I'm saying, you might be talking about real life situations. Do you take them personally from your personal life, or just stuff that you know your friends have been through, or are these everything that you sing is just things that you're going through?
As I get older, it becomes a lot more personal. When I first started, and even now, you know, it's once again spiritual. I'm always like the church girl, you know. So it could be something that I watched you go through, or watched you go through. You know what I mean? And it still
and that's
a
shared experience.
Yeah,
as well.
you know, I'm a real empathetic person, so I feel a lot, and that's how I express. Even if it's something that you went through, is something that I still felt, even if I didn't want to feel the shit. Can I cuss?
No, yeah, do your thing.
Even if I didn't want to feel the shit, you know what I mean? But I still was there and went through it, and sometimes that's how you release. Yeah. It's a good way of release for me.
Most definitely, definitely. So, what you saying that music is a release for you? Yeah. Do you, when you also creating, are you strictly in the studio? Do you record at home? Do you record at a friend's house? How's that process like? Yeah, usually strictly in the studio. If I'm recording at home, it's some some shit on my phone. Notes. Yeah. But when it comes down to laying down the vocals, yeah, I'm in the studio most of the time. So did you jump directly in the studio when you first started singing? What was that process like? Because I know a lot of people who might consider themselves an artist or a recording artist, but not quite yet haven't taken that next step to stepping into a professional studio, spending money on a professional engineer. Do you remember what was it like for you? Like, all right, now it's time for me to go to the studio. Did you write a song and you was like, this need to be put on wax? What was that process like? Yeah, when I first started, I had the music prepared. I didn't necessarily write it, you know what I mean, but I had the song in my head. I had the beat. I had about 3 or 4 songs. My first studio session that I paid my money for, I had about 4 songs prepared, and I had the music, and I took it there. When I was really paying for, like the music and stuff like that, oh no, it was to the T, because I'm paying hundreds of my dollars, you know what I mean? So I'm not about to go in here playing. But now that I have more like a family-oriented type of a studio vibe, with me and Ejilla, shout out to Ejilla Beats. It's like we can come in there and just create, to where we in there hours at a time and just really vibe into where we done made 3 or 4 songs once again, but it's really just off a vibe. Okay. Yeah. And before we leave off your creative process a little bit, are you just involved in the vocal aspect of creating, or are you also have talents in other areas of the production, as far as like working on your own beat or your own music? Because I feel like also with R&B, I feel like you have to be more closer with the beat, kind of, what I'm saying? I feel like a hip-hop artist, they just got to hear a good kick and a good snare, and they can,
metronome.
What I'm saying? So is that something, do you take any work in any other aspect in the music production?
Yeah, I I write for a lot of different artists as well. A lot of music has definitely made it to like Apple Music and a lot of things. I'm trying to get somebody to chart, you know what I mean? But I write for a lot of artists, and that's something that I'm really trying to get into just as much as singing, you know, just as much as my own singing. It's like I would definitely love to be like a writer, like somebody like Neo or, you know, Missy, or, you know, just somebody that is multi-talented, that's getting that bag in multi-ways, you know.
Okay, so I'm not too familiar with the writing aspect, so is it do you get credit for everything you write, or is it like a ghost writing situation? How does writing for other artists work? Are you advertising your music, or do artists come to you at this point for music? Or
a lot of artists do come to me. I still advertise, obviously, you know, just trying to be my own business. But to get writers credit, it is basically like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get my credit. You know, it's usually like a 33rd and a third, if that makes any sense. You know, if it's split 3 different ways, you got the performing artist, you got the writer, and you got the producer. You know, if it's usually just a split thing, it's like a half and half with the artist and the producer. But if it's 3 people, it's just split 3 different ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so with all that being said, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
So what's the funnest part out of all that? Like, what's the part that you look forward to the most when it's time to get to work? The part that you look forward to the most?
I would say the writing, like the creative part, and coming up with the lyrics. And I think, you know, just being such a hardcore singer, I think that is what I'm recognized for. But I do put a lot of my heart into writing, you know, and just coming up with some clever shit that I feel like, you know, singers who are such hardcore singers, they probably don't get a lot of credit for their lyrics because people are listening so much to the melody or to the vocals. But if you listen, I'll be saying some real shit. You know, you gotta peep the pen. The pen.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely heard some stuff. Like I said, Mary J would be the perfect comparison, and like I said, I'm not too familiar with a lot of R&B, but I'm very familiar with Mary J. Blige just because my mother, literally, I've met Mary J. Blige with my mother at River Oaks Mall at a CD signing, so I definitely see the comparison. So
for sure, thank you.
Up to this point, what would you say your biggest accomplishment in music has been so far? Your personal, and not to anybody else standards, just personally. It could have been, you know what I'm saying, one person said they saw you on the internet.
Yeah, no, I recently made it to MTV. My so I have a EP that's out, Final Notice. My leading single on Final Notice is Energy, and the music video to Energy has made it to MTV Live. I still haven't caught it. My manager caught it, so I was able to post it up, but I still have not seen the video, but it's in rotation, and can't nothing turn me down.
Can we talk about the production of Energy? Like, what made it the top song from the EP? Was that something that you intended for it to be, or was it something that once it was completed, everybody was like, that's the one? And was that, and then and is that how the video how you chose to make the video for it?
Yeah, believe it or not, that's the first song that me and my producer ever recorded together.
Oh, yeah?
The first full song.
That's insane.
And since then, it's just like been a vibe. You know, a lot has been surrounded around this song. We've made, you know, whole EPs. We done made, you know, just so many different hit singles that's made it to, you know, mainstream radio. You know, shout out to Shy Blizz and Power 92, you know, for definitely keeping us in rotation. You know what I'm saying, all the time. But it's like that song right there, it's just always been kind of like the one. Like, nah, this is the one that we gonna really push.
To you personally as well?
One. To me as well. Like, man, nah, it's so universal, and it's just such a feel-good song. It really brings you energy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't anything but a freestyle. But it was just like, man, magic.
Okay.
You know?
So pun intended, when you go in the studio, when y'all going to create, do you try to match that energy from that last one, or do you be like, that lives on its own, we gonna create one, or is that one always in the back of your head? Like?
Nah, it lives on its own. It lives on its own. I think, you know, it has become such a big song, but I think we was able to just like know it right then and there to where we can move on. You know, I don't think we've dwelled on it at all. Like I think we've made a lot of great music that, you know, would be considered just as good. Some that you might even like better.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you kind of know like, nah, that's the one. That's
okay.
You know, like we ain't gonna touch that one.
Okay,
you know.
Okay, you definitely gotta have the ear for that.
Yeah.
What you're doing, what you're creating so much.
Yeah.
So this is also a question I ask every artist I get in here. Just with you being an artist, do you listen to any other artists, or have any favorite artist that you listen to, or is it because you're working? So I can understand if it's just, man, I ain't got no time. There's nobody else. So if you could share that information with us.
I don't listen to a lot of music. I'm not gonna lie. I make a lot. Even the music that I make, I make so much music that's what I do. I make music, you know.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to the music that I do hear, I hear a lot of Chicago music, so I ain't gonna lie. I listen to a lot of Chicago artists. You know, shout out to, you know, all of my brothers and sisters in the industry. You know, I ain't gonna say nobody by name because I don't want to miss nobody and get cussed out. So shout out to everybody.
Definitely a long list.
And I got, you know, favorite artists that obviously I am influenced by. People like Jasmine Sullivan. That's my baby. That's just my number one. People like Fantasia. You know, the people I get compared to that I obviously grew up listening to. You know, people like Brandy, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, Mary J. You know, so all of these women. Men too. I like J. Cole, Kanye, Usher. I like a lot of, you know, just music.
Okay,
but
so
I don't listen to it like that no more.
Right. But I still caught you. So I'm gonna ask you this. You mentioned a couple people, you know what I'm saying, who multi-talented in a few different genres. So just speaking a little bit, using Lauryn Hill for example, do you have you ever did any other type of genres, specifically like maybe hip hop, or is that anything that you have been interested in, or something that you already done on the track?
Not really. I have just such a like distinctive kind of voice to where anything, even if I wanted to do something, it's gonna always sound like an R&B song. You know what I mean? So that's why I do focus a lot on writing as well, because I know I can be a great writer to where I would love to even write like country music.
Have you wrote anything other than? You should, right? Why not?
Yeah, you know, it's about getting in that arena. We gonna speak it into existence.
Hey, you
and
can
say
email
I
that
am.
to somebody, man.
Right, I am. You know, but as far as pop music, country music, gospel music.
So have you written anything outside of your
I've dibbed and dabbled in some things. Not really completed anything, but dibbed and dabbled enough to know I can do it successfully if I had somebody to be my partner, if I had an artist that can deliver the music how I want it to sound.
Okay.
You know, with me, once again, I'm going to make it sound like, you know, Aretha. I'm going to make it sound like Mary J, to where it's like, okay, that ain't no country song.
Okay, so I got another question to ask you as far as the songwriting aspects. I watch a lot of interviews with a lot of producers and music artists, and I always hear about producers or artists writing a song for specific artists. And I think you kind of mentioned that, not having the person. When you write songs, do you have a song be like, this song is for this artist? You know what I'm saying? This song is for this type of artist, or is it just, you know what I'm saying, is all about the increments? Yeah,
I just recently did that, where I was writing this song that was really, really, I would say male loving. You know, it was a woman really loving her man, you know, and when I thought about somebody that could deliver the song, you know, really dope, she came and she did that shit, like, for real. So yeah, I do that sometimes, and sometimes people will reach out to me and tell me, okay, well, can you write a song specifically like this? Can you write me a song talking about this? Or can you, you know, so I do that too. And it could be a challenge from time to time to, you know, try to find where people want to be, but it's fun, you know, it's definitely fun for me.
Okay, so do you listen to all the music that you might write for somebody? And if you do, have you ever heard somebody I don't know what you might recite a song that you wrote? You're like, oh no, that ain't it. But you know, you can't. It it ain't nothing you could do about it. And if that has happened,
it's always
it is. Okay. But have you ever made a song for somebody you're like, oh no, that ain't it?
I wouldn't do a person like that, and I wouldn't let them do me like that. Like, I would coach you, I would be there with you to make you, feel good about delivering the song. If I don't think you can do it, then I'm not gonna give you my work. Okay. You know what I mean? And if it's something that you messing up on or something, we all mess up. I get in the studio and mess up all the time. You know what I mean? So if it's just something that you need to practice, it's like we could practice together and we gonna make it something that we both proud of, even if it ain't the best vocals or it's gonna be something like, okay, it's still a hit.
Okay, I was curious about that. I was just watching the interview. He was like, yeah, I gave it to somebody and he ain't want it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So talking a little bit about the music industry, you know what I'm saying? You're a woman, you know what I'm saying, and women take the back seat in a lot of industries and taken advantage of in a lot of industries.
Yeah.
So is that something that you've experienced in the music industry, just as far as, you know what I'm saying, having to do extra work, you know what I'm saying, to probably get in a position that a man would have to get in, or feeling like a man was probably trying to take advantage of you because you are a woman, you know what I'm saying, or from just being new into the music industry? Is that something that you have to deal with?
I can honestly say no.
That's dope.
You're right. To God be the glory. I think it is just, once again, just being like a talented type of person, somebody who has a respected gift. I think my gift makes a lot of room for me, and it gives me a lot of respect, because if I didn't have the gift, then yeah, probably, you know what I mean? But by me being somebody that can kind of be, just like wanted, and not necessarily wanted in, that type of way, but I want you to sing for me. Like, I really want you to come over here and do this. I think that gives me a lot of respect to where people ain't gonna try me on that level because they already see me as an asset. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that.
Are you able to do a vibe check? Like, have you ever got a vibe from somebody you know what I'm saying?
I was about to get into that. Now, don't get me wrong, I've definitely been around some creeps, people that just don't really get no fuck. They'll try your mama. And no disrespect, but they'll try your mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. So it's like, hell no. Those type of people you stay away from. But for the most part, like, nah, I definitely get a lot of respect. A lot of respect being who I am. And that's what I just said coming up in here. Like, I appreciate y'all for, being the type of people that kind of see the talent and see the grind. Right. And it's not about, like, baby, you look good. Right. You sexy as hell with them locks. Like, nah, we here to vibe, and we here to really network and actually build something from each other. So that's where I'm in.
So segue into we just talking. So going to our next question. So you obviously working, so everybody can see that. So what do you hope to get out of, the fruits from your labor? What do you hope to get out of? Is it purely for the love, and you just happen to be, that recording comes with it, and I do it for the love, or is it bigger and better things that you hope to use music to get you to?
Nah, I know that it's for spiritual purposes. As usual,
problem.
Right?
Do your thing.
But no,
that's probably exactly what I needed today.
A lot of people, my mother being one of the main people, tell me that I should be a gospel singer, just flat out gospel music. And I do this for God, you know what I mean? But I know that, like, when it comes down to it, I want to reach people that need, some type of guidance and some type of word, to be honest, but they don't necessarily know God, and that's who Jesus was. Jesus wasn't in church. He was in the streets. Jesus was in the slums, spreading the gospel to the people, and I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. And even to go back to Lauryn Hill, even Lauryn Hill say you gotta add a motherfucker so the ignorant niggas hear you. So sometimes you gotta be the person to add that to be bold enough to add that motherfucker, to say, well, no, but it's still God. So one foot in and one foot back to that 1 foot in and 1 foot out type of situation. But it's still, you know what I'm saying, to do it. And I think that's my purpose in life, is to reach the people that don't know God, you know what I'm saying, and let them know that they there, and that he's here, and really to help people find the purpose.
Okay.
For real.
Okay, so I did an interview with a gospel hip hop recording artist, and he said his main reason for doing hip hop gospel is because his mother couldn't listen to his rap music, so he went strictly gospel. So do you let your mother, your aunties, uncles, grandmothers, do you let them listen to everything you produce, let them see everything you produce, or do you know they ain't gonna like this, or do you just be like they respect the talent and they understand, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that it's an art at the end of the day?
Yeah, they respect the art most definitely, and I think even if I was to say something vulgar, it's not in malice. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Once again, it's to reach a different set of people, is to reach a different audience, and I think people know that about me. You know what I mean? Just even like, you know, on some who would be an artist, Lauryn Hill. You know, if you heard Lauryn Hill saying some shit, or you heard Erykah Badu, you know, like cousin, you know it's coming from a different place. It's not just to be ignorant, or I'm just trying to be a hot girl, I'm shaking my ass. It's like, nah, I'm really saying something to you. I might be passionate and I talk too much, you know, but it's like, nah, it's really coming from a different place.
Okay.
You know.
I got a few more questions before I get you up out of here. So,
For sure.
You spoke on your mom a little bit, and
Yeah.
can you talk about your support system a little bit? I talk to a lot of artists, and we get to the conversation where they be like, the most of their support comes from people they never even met before. So,
Yeah.
do you have an issue with the people close to you, you know what I'm saying, not supporting you the way you feel like they should? Or do you feel like you got a great support system?
I feel like I got a pretty good support system when it comes down to, you know, people believing in me. As far as the people who invest in me, I think that's a much smaller number, you know. I think it's a much smaller number, but no, I don't take it personally. Like, I'm not one of those type of people that's like, oh, well, you see I can sing, you see I'm doing this, like, why you ain't helping me? And it's like, bitch, you grown, you know what I'm saying? We out here 30 years old almost. I just turned 29, so it's like, don't nobody owe me nothing. Even my mom, like, you brought me into this world, baby, I done made it this far, I got it from here. But if I do need your help, you know, if you see me struggling or something, help a bitch out, you know. But like, no, like, the people who have come into my life and really have been a blessing to me, once again, I know it's a blessing. I know it's coming from God up above, because don't nobody owe me nothing. You know, even with the talent, I wish it was somebody that owed me something that can, you know, pay me right now. But
pay up,
you know, but no, don't nobody owe me nothing. So I feel like the support, when it come down to like, baby girl, you can do it, you can make it. Man, it's nonstop. So that's all I really need.
Okay. Do you feel like your friends and family should support, you know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people take social media like to the core a little bit. So do you feel like people should share your music or repost your music or stuff like that? Do you feel like that's something they should do?
Yeah, I feel like that doesn't hurt. Once again, I don't think nobody owe you nothing. So if it's a song that you don't like, then no, you ain't got to, you can scroll right past it. But if it's something you vibing to, like, hey, you know, this my jam, yeah, you know, share me with your people.
Okay.
You know,
right.
that's support. Once again, that's believing in me, and it don't cost you nothing.
Okay. So when you do make it, cause you gonna make it, and all
Right.
these people come, they cousin, you still gonna feel like that? You gonna be? Are these the people that you gonna put on your team, or are you taking notes to see who really, you know what I'm saying, who really gonna be about it because they've been about it the whole way, or who really about it now because you got a bag to pay for it?
Right. Nah, I'm definitely, you know, keeping watch, but I'll help anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, being a person obviously who needed the help. You know, I ain't sitting up here saying that I don't need help. I don't need somebody to come and, you know, invest in me. Of course I do. So if it's somebody that I believe in and I think they worthy of investing in, even if, you know, they not related to me, even if I don't know them, like, I'm willing to do that because I know what it feels like to be in those shoes, you know, and I know what it feels like to have somebody open their doors to you, you know, open a studio to you, even when they don't, you know, they don't have to do it. They don't know you from a can of paint, and they making a way for you. So I definitely know what it feels like to have that. So I don't mind helping people, but I ain't, gonna be boo-boo the fool either. I don't manipulate me trying to get my money. You weren't even sharing my song. You weren't even sharing my song.
I was gonna say, you gotta watch out for them people,
right.
man. You don't want nobody hit no lick on you now.
For real.
Sure. So, okay, like I said, I got a couple more questions for you. But
For
before I get you on, I know you mentioned it a little bit at the top of the show, but if you could speak on a little bit, are you your current situation? Are you shopping for a major deal? Is that something that you want? Is that something that you're looking for? Are you looking to maximize your independent potential? What's your goal as far as that aspect of the music industry?
Definitely working towards self-sufficiency and just being independent all the way. I ask myself all the time, though, if somebody laid $3 million on the table or even $1 million on the table, and it's like, okay, well,
it's a stepping stone.
It's like, right, do you say no? Hell no.
Right.
I ain't never saw $1 million in my life, so I think it's all about how you go about things. I ain't gonna let nobody rip me off or nothing like that, but if it's worth my while, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna make the best out of it. Like shit, I didn't work 9 to 5s for $45,000 a year.
Exactly.
So if somebody put this $1 million, you think I'm gonna say, nah, we gonna find a way to work that out.
Okay. And if you could talk a little bit about your current situation or the current partnership that you got going on right now.
So I am an independent artist. I do have a management deal with Urban Grind and Wally. Shout out to Wally. He's somebody who definitely helped me get to MTV. Without him, I know that I would still be somebody trying to get to MTV. So shout out to him for that. It's a lot of big things that me and him are doing together. He actually helped me start my own company, Ghetto Gospel Entertainment. So I'm not necessarily taking on any artists or anything, but I'm definitely trying to build my brand. Okay. I'm not trying to be a manager or not yet. I know, they gonna come. I know something is gonna come, but I'm about to make the most out of this.
Okay.
So yeah.
I know it's the beginning of its inception, but could you tell us what this brand is gonna look like?
Nah, I'm gonna tell you.
No problem. Completely understand. I got some stuff I can't even mention because I don't want nobody to run off with it. So right. I completely understand that.
But sure.
So before I get you up out of here, could you just talk about what you got going on right now as far as the music and what you got coming up? I know you said you recently just dropped the EP. Right. If you could tell us about, is that doing how you expected it to do, and what you got coming up next?
Doing much better. Like I say, we made it to MTV off this one. You know what I'm saying? Right, exactly. So it's doing a whole lot better. I actually, before this, it's a 3 EP trilogy. I dropped Overdue in 2018. I dropped Final Notice, which is my current one, in 2021. It's doing very well. So I'm getting prepared to start on my 3rd and final EP, and then I'm gonna get into dropping my first album. But my last one, it went from Overdue to Final Notice, so I'm still kind of torn on if I want to call it Cut Off or Disconnected. And somebody told me to name them both, and I'm like, ooh, I might name them both.
You gotta stop dropping them names on here, girl. Somebody going, ooh, there you go. Right. I've been looking for that name.
Well, you heard it here first. You heard it here first.
Okay. Do you got a time window for that?
Next year, not necessarily. It's done, to be honest. Okay. The EP is done. Don't tell nobody, but it's done. So it's just about when I want to put it out there, and I'm gonna take my time with that because I am complete with it. I want to really get it together and really make it what I want it to be. Yeah.
I know
next
I said I had
sometime.
2 more, but I got 1 more.
For sure.
Okay. And just as far as talking about more of your production, as far as can we expect to see more visuals with these upcoming projects, or even with the last EP? Are you working on some videos for those tracks as well? For
sure. I'm a ride the energy wave, Definitely. As far as I can take it. Like I said, I think it really is gonna be, I know it really is a big song for me. 7 months into the video, we made it to MTV. So I'm gonna keep riding that wave. But as far as dropping new projects and new videos for my future, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the first one on MTV. That ain't the last. So of course we got a lot more to do.
Okay. And I know I said the last one. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. So and just with the and that's another thing I noticed about artists who really, you know what I'm saying, making a name for themselves. Artists that you can just jump online and you will see them without looking for them. Are artists that's actually putting revenue behind their promotion. You know what I'm saying? Putting yourself out there. Is that something that you do you focus on your promotion specifically, or is that something you leave strictly up to management?
Oh no, I definitely am hands-on when it comes down to everything. I was having a talk with Wally today. Big shout out to Wally because he's somebody that keeps me really motivated, and I was telling him that when it comes down on, you know, how I should move and how I should be, you know, with my ideas and you know, with my type of innovation, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, he has a real good niche, you know, type of, you know, vibe for it. So when it comes down to it, he can definitely give me a lot of advice on what I should do and where I should go. And that's something that I appreciate, you know, like a lot. So as far as like me moving forward with my business, I know I got a lot of things that I can be doing, you know, as far as just like my brand on where I can take it. I know I'm appeal to black women, you know what I'm saying, and gay men, you know what I mean, but
and the straight men.
And straight men, you know, in a different type of way, but I know those would be the people that get me to the big name. That'll be the crowd that get me to the world, you know what I'm saying. If I can appeal to these people will take me to those people, and those people to take, you know. So it's like, it's just about time for real.
Any interests outside of music?
Fashion. Okay. Fashion, you know what I mean?
Got a fashion podcast we're gonna need you to jump on.
Yeah, shout out to First Lady China. Along with the music video being on Energy, I do on MTV, I do have like a hoodie t-shirt line, just an apparel line, I'll say, called Energy. Started with First Lady China and City Changers organization. She hand makes all of the stuff, so I should be wearing some right now. I was rushing so bad trying to get here. Give me the links
to that so I can check it out.
For sure, I was rushing so bad trying to get here, but no, shout out to her. When I come back and do your show, I'm gonna have it on. You see how I'm putting that into the universe already?
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
He ain't paying me no attention either.
That's why I got him here. That's why I got him here. I already let him know, so we can go ahead. I had planned. I had supposed to do like 3 of them today. I was like, Joe, you can go ahead catching it, you know, catch you some too. So that's definitely what we all about, networking. Like I said, if you got anything coming up that you want to come and drop on the show, as far as new music, new video, artists, anything you want to drop, Mi Casa, Su Casa, you know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, and I like the vibe. You kind of look like Meek Mill to me.
I heard that before.
But I like the vibe you got going on here. It's nice, it's real professional, and it's still friendly, you know. It's cool. So I'll definitely be back.
That's definitely the vibe we're trying to create. So.
For sure.
So it was definitely a great conversation. It went over the time that I intended to.
I know I talked too much.
And I still, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I already told you I'm going to need you back. So I mean, I know we got plenty more to talk about. So for today, I appreciate you for coming on the show. I definitely understand how valuable time is. If you could, let the people know where they can find the music, where they can reach out to you on social media and anything else.
For sure, you can find me everywhere on everything at Johni Demeatri. I know it's difficult, but it's not that hard to spell. Sound it out. You gonna get it. Spell it wrong, they gonna pop it up.
It just look hard, but it's easy to say. It just look hard, but like I said, appreciate you for coming on. Be safe. We can't wait to have you back.
For sure.